Hello, everybody. It's crypto time. So, what the hell do we want to talk about today? How about the title insinuated something? Let's talk about that. So, I got two AI plays I'm in, right? So I'm much more of a RWA, rolled asset, tokenization type of guy. It's really just what I like the most of. It's what I believe there's the most future in. However, one, I believe in diversification. I think it's best to spread your eggs throughout multiple baskets. And then two, other avenues are going to make money too, and narratives tend to pump at different times. They might have the RWA narrative, the AI narrative, maybe even subcategories like AI agents or tokenization. There might be the DePIN or DeFi area, and they're going to come up in little groups typically. So I want to touch upon a little bit, and I'm in two AI plays. I'm in what is known as, in a slang term, of NVIDIA's crypto, which is Render, and then Binance's crypto, or Binance's AI agent, the one that they specifically use to gather a bunch of crypto information and then spew it back out. And that's why I think it's a big deal, because Binance owns CoinMarketCap, which does what? Collects a bunch of crypto information and then spews it all out. So I'm going to get into these two AI plays. But first, quick little bits of housekeeping. One, thank you guys, as always, for coming in and joining. First time, third through 10th time, last time. Unfortunately, that's the case, but I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you very much, and your feedback really does help. I appreciate our little back and forth I have with some of you guys in the comments. And I'm now hosting a little bit more, just posts and everything in, I don't know if it comes up as post or community section on your guys' side of things. I'll figure that out soon. But I'm now just posting things a little bit more for a little bit more interaction with you guys, because there's been requests for things about what is my portfolio, what are my price predictions, my entry points, exit points, things like that. And out of request, I'm going to start posting those kind of things. But I need to tell you guys, those are mine, right? Those are what I am putting as my crypto and my entry and my exit points based off of what I know, what I've learned, what I believe, my financial desires, my risk aversion, those kind of things. So don't copy what I'm doing. This is all do your own research, but I'll gladly give you guys the information of what I'm doing just to give thoughts and concepts to help you decide more of what you're doing, and always ask questions. I love when you guys do that. So let's kind of hop right into this, shall we? So of the two, let's talk about ASM first, or Assemble Protocol AI. This is my little AI microcap, guys. I know I've talked about this a lot. I like it. And if you guys are in or interested in ASM or just free crypto, right? ASM, Assemble AI, has an app, NS3, where they have free little hourly quizzes. You answer the quizzes, you get 5 points for getting it correct, and they're very short and quick, usually based off of an abstract of an article that ASM wrote and spewed out there. And starting in the second half of the year, more details to come. You can trade in those points for free crypto. I reached over the 2,000 points just yesterday, the day before. I posted it on X. And yeah, guys, feel free to follow me on X. Interact with me on X. I've been a lot more active. Kind of fun. But I've been doing these hourly quizzes every day just to collect these little points. So when I can transfer them over to free ASM, probably come summer, I'm going to do just that. So if you're into ASM, or again, you just want free crypto, recommendation to check it out. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description below. However, just let you know, I get nothing from it. So if you're like, oh, I'll do it just to help you out, or I'm not going to do it to help you out, it makes no damn difference to me, guys. I'm just passing off information from a crypto that I like. So ASM, Assemble AI, it's kind of dropped a little bit and it's maintained. I've been impressed with how well ASM has maintained during this little bear section in the bull market. You know, we had so many altcoins drop 30 to 80% or more. And ASM, specifically for a micro cap, has done quite well. I've been impressed with the stability, which what that really means is those who own it are keeping it. That's all it means. But that's a good sign. We're not having emotional people just flipping through. It's more likely going to happen in larger amounts with small market caps anyway. So I've been very happy with ASM. Granted, always wanting to go a little bit more up that way, but kind of staying lateral or slightly down, I'm in no rush, guys. I'm here putting a little bit of money into crypto every now and then. I have slowed down, as those of you that watch me routinely are aware. I do a weekly buy for quant, but otherwise, the only thing I bought in the last month, I think, was a little bit of Ondo, which I updated in the community section. So other than Binance's pairing with ASM, which that should be enough to get people excited. It's what got me excited and interested in the first place. Let's go ahead and let's look a little bit more specifics of how it's performing or not performing, and then we'll get into another AI play. I already know it's going to be anyway. All right, so here's the Symbol AI protocol right now. We're floating around the 2.7 cent marker. Not bad, 40 million market cap. Guys, it's just lateral movement to me. I've got no issues with it. If we look on the month chart, again, it is down a little overall. If we're floating here closer to 2.7, 2.8, where a month ago we were just at the low threes, 3.31. And it's a little movement. I understand that it is roughly what 18 or so percent. I could probably look here, but that's not too bad. There's been a little bit of areas of good DCing or entry points, but in all reality, again, if you want to know my opinion, I think any time right now is a good entry point for this crypto, and still a lot of them. There has been a little bit of a boost recently, as in today, the day of recording, a little bit yesterday, the beginning of the week. So honestly, if you have a couple of crypto on your watch list or ones that you're looking to get into a little bit deeper, have a price in mind that you want. I don't have a strict one with ASM, but I really haven't bought above the 4 cents. I probably won't. I don't have a hard line on that one right now, at least not that I recall. Should probably check my Google documents. But it's not overly exciting right now, which is good because it's a small market cap. It will get exciting pretty quickly. And again, it's the AI play. The other one to talk about in a little bit, really just update, because I'm assuming most of you guys are familiar with Render. If you're not, comment in the section, comment. I assume most of you are familiar with Render. If you're not, you want to know a little bit more, comment down below in the comment section, and I'll do another full review video of Render. I expect a lot more of those after the bull run, where I'll just be researching a bunch of crypto like effing crazy. So Symbol AI, I do want to check to see how many holders they have. I don't think I wrote it down last time, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this up. So we're at 5,548. I think it's roughly the same. I feel like we were at 5,200 not too long ago. Maybe I wrote that down. I'll go ahead and I'll take a look at it when I'm editing this, and I'll start keeping track of the holders, just as it lets us know interest, right? Even if the price doesn't change, are more people owning the crypto? Because the more people who own it, well, those are people that are going to ape in as things go up higher or looking to DCA, and it keeps a more level foundation, the more standard owners that we have. But so Symbol AI, Binance uses it. Look for other reasons to go get it, guys. But it's an AI agent. So a lot of people are expecting AI to be a huge narrative of the cycle. I do too, to be completely honest. But AI agents is a little subcategory that everyone's expecting to kind of be a big thing. But in all reality, there are so many effing AI agent coins out there, guys. If you just go ahead and Google it, do it at your own risk. But there's a lot of them, not quite as many as Ethereum layer 2s, but getting close. And this is the one I chose. It does not mean that all the others are garbage. It just means I like this one a lot, and I'll keep dipping into it a little bit. This is probably going to be the first crypto that I will trickle profits into when I get my next sell limit on a crypto, and I move those profits out. Some will go into my pocket. A lot's probably going to go into other crypto, especially early on before everything else really pops. And ASM's a leader for me on that one. So maybe AI agents isn't your thing. You're not looking for a small micro cap that's going to make you a crap ton of money, potentially. And instead, we'll look at a larger market cap to make a crap ton of money. Render's my other AI play, guys. I'm not here to hide it. I've looked in a couple other ones. There's other ones that I like. But it really comes down to how much can I distribute my wealth? And it's not that much, right? I'm trying to keep focus in certain crypto. So Render's my other one. Depending on the day of the week, it's either my third or my fourth largest bag. It and Ondo kind of go back and forth of which one's going to take it that day. But Render, if we had ASM Binance's AI play, well, here we have NVIDIA's AI play, which also is used by a little bit with Instagram. There hasn't been like a huge connection with that one, but Paramount Pictures, that's a big one. If you know what Render does or know what rendering video, photos, music, etc. is, it's a big deal. I'm waiting to hear they do another multi-movie sign-off on it. That will be massive, and I got no reason to think it won't happen. I really just think that companies are starting to time when they're telling news, just like the market makers do. When I say market makers, I mean whales or exchanges, Coinbase, Binance, Strategy, the ones that kind of have an influence on the market. If you watch, they tend to make big moves when there's news just to compound the excitement or lack thereof. But I'm expecting that they're timing a lot of news. I think a lot of companies are doing this. We're going to hear more big things about Render as there's more excitement in crypto. But Render has moved about 33% as of the time that I'm reading this or that I'm recording this. I read it a few minutes ago. It's been up about 33% in 2 days. I'm not expecting that to hold completely. I will know more soon, but let's say it stops at 33%. It's going to come back a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of retrace. So essentially, anytime a crypto goes up by 20% roughly or more, there's a small retrace. And the retrace seems to be larger the bigger the boom it gets. But then again, the bigger the boom it gets, even the retrace is larger percentage-wise, we still end up at a much higher point. So since Render's been doing pretty well, it could continue to do pretty well. But the last several hours, I saw it floating around like 4.8 to 11 and 4.8 again. So we'll see if it continues up or not. But I first got into it. I think it was in the sevens, and I've DC'd my way down. It's still cheaper than when I got in there, guys. So do I think it's a good time to get Render? Yeah, I thought it was a good time, more expensive than now. So of course I think it's a good time to get into it now. And the only reason I haven't DC'd into it was I've just prioritized a couple other crypto, to be honest. Again, I told you guys I'm more of RWA. Ondo got the last boost for me. But I really like Render. I love the fact that it's got NVIDIA behind it. The CEOs are essentially drinking buddies with each other. CEO of NVIDIA is also talking at RenderCon, which is on April 15th. And I'm expecting, I don't know, I'm a mix between expecting and hoping there's big news, right? Like we always want a little bit more. Give us a little bit more. But they're going to have a couple of digital artists there. They're having, I don't think it was the CEO, but it was someone coming from Paramount, someone who's worth a damn coming from Apple because Render works with Apple too. I'm hoping / expecting a decent announcement with that of what are they going to do next. Apple and Render could be plenty of big things. Let's pull up a chart. Let's take a look at a couple of things quick, shall we? We're down to $4.07, guys. Sell your Render bags. We're down a penny since I started this. So cool. We're on the month. I like looking at the month. And again, similar based on my hindsight of a couple minutes ago of ASM. We were floating around a certain point in the upper threes, and now we're kind of floating around in the lower threes. We did dabble under $3 at 277. I think we saw 275 at one point. Oh, 256 for a couple seconds. Damn. Okay. Well, I'm looking at DCing in a Render. There's always more that I can do, right? And I'm still going to wait, though, guys. I'm waiting to see what happens in the next 2 weeks. I've been suspecting for a while, about a year, a little bit more. I was really expecting that we're going to have at least one alt season. We could have two between really end of April to July, and we're getting close. And there's a lot of macroeconomics that are coming in. People are starting to FUD a little bit less. I'm seeing a little bit more information about crypto in general and social media and standard media. Things are warming up, guys. Awesome news for it. But I'm waiting another 2 weeks, roughly, to see how the first week of April goes after taxes here in the U.S. get cleared through and just kind of see how people respond to tariffs, even though now the news about tariffs seems to be dropped down a little bit. And I think that's why crypto picked up a little bit in the last 48 hours. As Trump was like, tariffs, I love tariffs. We're going to tariff everything. And then we came up to, maybe we'll do a little less on tariffs. And that's eased up the market stocks as well. So what we have right now for Renders, okay, we're right on around the $4 mark, guys. Then if you're in Render, tell me what you like about Render. If you're not in Render, but you're looking for a time, and yes, I'm thinking of one of you specific. I won't call you out right now, but you should know who you are. You're looking at Render around $3 with something else. Maybe it was TARS AI, but checking, it's like, oh, is now a good time? Guys, never hesitate, right? If you think it's a good price, put some in. Not financial advice, but seriously, like I try to time my crypto to an extent, but I have a price when I'm researching a crypto. I usually get an idea of where do I think it's going to go. Call that my price prediction. So let's say render, if I think it's going to hit $35 and that's the top that I think I'm going to sell at, I think it's going to clear 50, but I am going to be mostly out at 35. Well, then how much do I want to gain? And that tells me the highest price I'm willing to pay for it. Again, this is my method. So if I have my price prediction of render being $50 and I think I'm going to be out 80 or 90% of it by the time we clear 35, because I could be wrong. We never hit $50. So I'm sure as hell not waiting to wait that long to take profits. But if I think it's going to be 35 as my last point of, or big point of selling, how much do I want to make? If I want on average, like I'm aiming for a 4x or more on my crypto, then I guess the highest I'm going to pay for a render is about $8.50. Does that make sense? And that's for me, on my thoughts, my beliefs, me. And so anything under $8 to me is a good price point to get in. I love to get it lower. I would love to see $3 again, under 3, sub 3, whatever, so I can get more. But we had that and I didn't do it then. So why the hell would I complain or bitch about it now, right? Like I chose to do something else. But timing the bottom or timing the market, I highly recommend you guys having a price range you're willing to pay for something. And like, you know what? I've got some funds. It's in the range. Put some in. Don't hesitate. Hesitation causes regret. FOMOing without thinking causes regret. So have a thought ahead of time of what your range is. And then when it's there, put a little bit in. If you're like, oh, it's at $4, but maybe it's going to go back down to 3. I don't know. Well, then you can always put some in now around 407, 408. And if it goes back down into the 3s, if you save a little bit and put more in then. And if you get a little nervous or too much time goes or starts going up to 415, 420, if that's still within your price range, so to speak, add it then. Because in all reality, if you're putting even $1,000 into crypto and you are off by $1 of an entry from $3 to $4, if it goes up to 35, like I suspect, that's not going to be a huge effing deal, right? You still made money. So make moves. I've seen a lot of people hesitate and they get burned for it, or they hesitate and even worse, now they get over anxious, like I need to get in, which causes even more FOMO. And I don't want any of you guys to go through that. At least not more than what you need to learn your lesson, but learn from everybody else when we've made our mistakes. Okay, guys. So again, AI plays. I love ASM. I love render. There's plenty of other good ones out there. Let me know down below which ones you guys like. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll continue to post out roughly 3 longer videos, meaning roughly 7 to 20 minutes. This one's getting close, a week, and I'll throw in a few shorts in there every now and then. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. I'm out.